Hi guys, so in today's video I'm going to be discussing my top 10 summer foundations. These are foundations that I think are perfect in the summer, but I usually love year-round anyway, but I just think that they're perfect for summer weather and stuff like that. Before I get into this video, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to be notified for future uploads. Today's notification shout out goes to Angelica V. Thank you so much for having my notifications on, and if you want a notification shout out, all you have to do is turn on my notifications and comment hashtag notification squad in the comments of any of my videos and you'll get one eventually. Without further ado, let's get into this video. My number one favorite foundation in the summer. I probably do use this more in the summer than I do in the rest of the year, but it is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi foundation. I talked about this in my summer essentials because, again, this is my go-to summer foundation because it just gives me that dewy, luminous, like all over glowy look, and I'm obsessed with that in the summer. This cap is disgusting, I'm so sorry. I am in the shade Shell Beige or C4, and this is like a cool toned one. It actually is a little bit warmer than cool tone, so I don't know why it's labeled cool tone. It is quite long wearing. It's not exactly waterproof, but I do wear this when I go to like the beach or the pool, and it does stay on really nicely. It also matches my tan, so I'm obsessed with this foundation. The next foundation I'm going to be talking about is the Tarte Shape Tape Hydrating Foundation. Yes, there's a lot of controversy on this foundation. A lot of people really don't like it. A lot of people don't like the matte one either. A lot of people like one or the other. I prefer the hydrating year-round because my skin is mostly dry. I just think it gives me a better finish. I am wearing this one right now. I think it gives a really good coverage. What I love about it is that it's quite buildable. It does say to use this one with a sponge. Using it with a sponge shears it out a little bit more. I tend to use a sponge anyway, but just kind of builds it up either way. It does get rid of the excess product by using a sponge. I love the Tarte sponge that actually was released to use with this foundation. And with that, you can build it up, you can shear it out, you can do whatever you want. And I love a foundation that you can do that to. Like a foundation that's automatically full coverage is not as enticing to me because what if I want to sheer coverage? So this foundation is really nice. I have the shade Light Neutral for when I'm not fake tan and Medium Sand for when I am fake tan. I think that this one's still a little too light for when I am fake tan. It kind of quite doesn't match my neck. It lasts all day. It is very hydrating and it makes my skin look good. It's not matte, but it's also, I wouldn't say as luminous as the L'Oreal Lumi. This is probably among one of my favorite foundations of all time, but I just love it in the summer. I think it lasts through any weather and it's really good. Next up, I have the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Foundation. I believe I used this in my summer makeup tutorial or something like that. I'm sorry if you see my crusty nail here. It fell off yesterday and I can't go get a manicure until tomorrow. So yay. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow, which is very similar to the True Match Lumi by L'Oreal as well, except this one doesn't give you as full a coverage. I feel like this one's a lot thinner in consistency. It's more liquidy, which means that it's pretty sheer. I also feel like you can build this up as well, just probably not as much of a full coverage as this one. Right here I have the shades 204 and 208. 208 is actually a little too dark when I am fake tan. I kind of mix them when I'm fake tan, put a little bit more of the darker one than the lighter one. It's also long wearing. It does say 24-hour foundation. It is quite long wearing. I've never worn it for 24 hours, but it is quite long wearing, and once again, when I wear this outside, it doesn't like come off or anything, but it also gives me like a luminous dewy glow as well. Next is the Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I have this tiny version because I can never ever just buy the full size because it's just so expensive to me, and I don't know, I can't do it. Right now this one's too light for me because I'm pretty self-tan, but I do use this one when I'm not as self-tan, which I wasn't last week, and I did use it, and I love this foundation because it is buildable. You can probably get it to a medium coverage, not as full coverage as the other ones that I've been talking about, but it is a medium finish. So like it doesn't leave you matte and it also doesn't leave you dewy, even though it's in the name. It says Luminous, so it's not really luminous as well. It's somewhere in the middle, which I like sometimes, so I highly recommend that, but it is quite pricey. I think this bottle was $40 and it is 0.60 fluid ounces, so not even an ounce comes in this, which is, you know, quite sad. By the way, I'm in the shade 475 when I'm not fake tan here. I probably need somewhere in the 6s when I am fake tan. The next foundation I'm going to be talking about is the Kojando, what's this called? Aqua Foundation. This is also too light for me right now, and it's also quite a pricey one, so I don't like use it that often. I actually ordered samples from their website. I think I had to pay $1 for shipping or something just to make sure I ordered the right shade. This is the right shade for when I am not fake tan, but when I am fake tan I can't use this, so it makes me kind of sad. What I love about this is that it's super sheer. You could probably build it to a medium and it doesn't cake up or anything. It's really liquidy, so it makes it feel like there's nothing on your face. That's what I absolutely love about it. I also love that it minimizes your pores. It just makes your skin look super flawless while giving you such a sheer coverage, and it just makes me look dewy and luminous, which I look for in a foundation for the summer. Next, I have the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Wear Foundation, which I have been loving since I went to Generation Beauty a couple months ago, and I tried this out at the Lancome booth. It was amazing. They color matched me. They actually color matched me to the shade I was fake tan to, so like I was fake tan that day and they were like, okay, yeah, you need this shade, which is in the shade, what is this, 320. And when I'm not fake tan, I'm in the shade 210 and it matches perfectly. I don't have to mix them ever, which is amazing. This one's more of a warmer tone shade, the darker one, and then the lighter one's a little bit more cool tone. When I want something that is not gonna budge throughout the entire day, I go for this foundation because it just lasts all day. It does not come off. It doesn't make my face look cakey after I eat or like after I get in the sun or anything. It just looks awesome. It looks flawless all the time. I would say though that this is more of a matte finish than I've been talking about in the rest of these foundations. It doesn't give you as much of a glow, but it's also not like entirely too matte. But the best thing about it is that it's just really long wearing, and it just gives you a flawless coverage. The next foundation is the Maybelline Better Skin Foundation. This is in the shade 15 Ivory and it is really dark. Like, let me tell you, I don't know how this is ivory, to be honest, but it's pretty dark. Like, I think I have to mix it with another foundation in order for me to get it to match my fake tan, but that's besides the point. I still use this all the time. It is one of my favorite drugstore foundations. It is a very thick foundation though, so you have to be quite careful, which means that you can build it up to a full coverage. I would say it starts off at about a medium. It's definitely not sheer because it's so thick. I usually like to apply it with a sponge to sheer it out a little bit. It really gives you like a brightened complexion, full coverage, and it's really long lasting as well. One of my favorite foundations of all time is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I think that this is probably the best foundation out there because it is very buildable. You can sheer it out or you can make it as full coverage as possible where it like really covers every imperfection, but it doesn't cake up ever. It actually rarely feels like I am wearing a foundation when I use this foundation, but it gives me probably a fuller coverage than any foundation I've talked about besides the Lancome one, and it just lasts all day. It looks really nice on my skin. My skin really likes this foundation. Like, I'm telling you, when I have like 12-hour work days and I get home and I've been sweating all day from working with all these kids because I'm a teacher, this foundation it never fails me. It's amazing, this foundation. This one's in the shade Vanilla. It does match my fake tan a little bit. It's kind of in between. It's too dark for when I'm not fake tan, but I think it's too light for when I am fake tan. I love the finish of this foundation as well though, because while it looks really hydrating, it looks really glowy as well, but it also kind of looks matte at times. Like, it's really hard to explain it. Sometimes I set it, sometimes I don't, and it still lasts either way, and it looks pretty glowy and hydrating. It makes your skin look really healthy. Let's just be real. I have two stick foundations I'm going to be talking about today. The first is the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation. The one I have here is in the shade of Vanilla, and it's way too light for when I'm fake tan, so like Yeah, this is definitely a waterproof foundation. When I wear this and I like literally go swimming in the pool, like it does not come off. It is like the definition of waterproof. It's also just like really long wearing. Obviously the fact that it's waterproof means it's long wearing. Like I don't have to jump in the water, but like if I walk outside and it's like really hot and I'm wearing this foundation, it will not come off. It does not budge. It gives you a really... What I love about stick foundations though is that you can build them up like more than liquid foundations. I feel like you can just put like 78 little stripes on your face and then buff it out and it'll give you a full coverage. Or you can put like one stripe on your face and buff it out and it'll give you a sheer coverage. That's what I love about stick foundations, plus the fact that it takes like 2 seconds to blend everything out. Like I swear, I'll put this on, chung chung chung, and that's it, it's done. Like it's amazing. The other stick foundation I'm gonna be discussing is probably my favorite foundation of all time. I'm gonna put that out there because I try new foundations and I always go back to this, and this is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation stick. I don't like the Ultra HD liquid foundation. I really don't like it at all. But this foundation, the stick foundation, is amazing. Like I just said about the Hourglass Vanish stick, it's super easy to blend. It takes like 2 minutes to do my foundation. It's amazing. Whereas like liquid foundations, sometimes I'll be like blending for like an hour. But I like that this is, again, really buildable. Like you can put one stripe, blend it out and it's sheer, or you can put 78 stripes and blend it out and it's full coverage. But it's also really, really long lasting. I would say that the Hourglass one is waterproof, so it definitely lasts a little bit longer, but this one's not far off. I'm not sure about the price differences on these, but I have like a million colors here and I have not like... I just love that the finish that this one gives. I would say that the Hourglass gives a bit more of a matte finish. This one makes you look a little bit dewy. I have to set this sometimes if I want to make it last like forever and ever. But a lot of times I just don't set it just to give me that luminous glow because that's what I look for in the summer. So I really, really enjoy these foundations. This is my favorite foundation of all time. Like I love it. Along with the Too Faced, like my two holy grail foundations are these, but I think they're really good in the summer because once again, buildable, waterproof, sweat proof essentially, and just I love it. I love these foundations. You can tell I'm very passionate, huh? Anyway, that's it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed me discussing my top 10 favorite foundations for summer. And yeah, if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!